Welcome back to the channel. Out in the area north of Dumfries just now. This is known as the Crocketford Road. It's a bit of a cut through from New Galloway to the A75, just to give you a bearings, but it's a nice road. I've got a car in front of me at the moment, but I'm not really interested in getting by him because I'll have a chat to you guys first. Apologies if there's a wee bit of wind noise, because there's a bit of a crosswind here. It's a bit quite blustery today, so apologies if the buffeting off my helmet is annoying this mic. I'm still working on a solution without plugging something into my camera, but we'll see how we get on. Anyway, today I was going to talk about the upcoming ABR Festival. Now, I didn't quite know how many of you have been to it or how many are planning on going to it, but I thought it'd kind of maybe sum up what I think of it and maybe some of the best things to do at it, or in my opinion, how you go about enjoying yourself at it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So basically, to give you a wee bit of background, I've only been there for the last 3 years. I think it's been running a couple of years more than that, obviously pandemic pending. And in the 3 years I've been there, it's basically got 30% bigger every year. I think the first year I was there was 22. I think there was about 10,000 people there, and it felt reasonably busy. But then they put in some things to kind of reduce congestion on the trail, like the trail passes and stuff like that, so there's only a certain number of people that can get on the trails. But every year it's got better, so I'm hoping for good things this year. I believe there's an extra 2,500 people coming this year, so that could be circa 17,500 people in the space around Ragley Hall. Now don't get me wrong, it's got plenty of room about it, and it won't feel too crowded. If you're camping or glamping or staying outside the venue, you know, it'll feel busy, but it won't feel mad. The queues for the drinks is probably the biggest hassle, and the food sometimes. If you get a popular food spot there, you can be queuing for an hour or so sometimes if you're trying to get some of the best food, but I'll run through those kind of things anyway. So we'll maybe just start on how to get there. It's quite easy because where it is centrally based in the country, and it's just south of Birmingham. I mean, I'm coming down from Scotland. I tend to make a week of it, do a couple of camp nights maybe in Wales or sort of down the Shropshire area, and then pop into the festival thereafter. But that's kind of what I do. I kind of make a trip of it, and then on the way back just blast up the motorway usually. When you get there, depending on when, it could be quite busy at the old check-in, but there's plenty of space to park your bike, walk over, show your tickets and that kind of stuff. And if you're on your own, don't worry about it, because there's so many other folk that travel to it on their tours, and no matter where you are, where you camp, you'll always be someone who'll talk to you, you know what I mean? It's not like it's you'll be Norman no mates. It's very easy to chat to people because we've all got something in common with regard to the bikes. So once you've checked in, you get your beer voucher. I think there's only beer, there's no food this year. You get a beer voucher, you get your pass, your wristband, your trail pass, or if you've ordered one, etc., etc. Just go find yourself a camp spot. There's plenty of room. My advice would be a reasonable distance away from the toilets and the showers. The reason being is they're open 24/7, and there's usually a generator or a bit of noise associated with it, and the fact that you'll have people traipsing past your tent on the way to it. So I tend to try and camp a little bit further away. Obviously you can bring your own en-suite facilities, but anyway, I digress. Yeah, so obviously set up your campsite. I have never brought any camping equipment or anything apart from water with me. The reason being is there's a free cup of tea in the morning by the showers if you're up early enough, and then after that you can feed yourself at the many catering establishments. And to be honest, the food is, you know, typical kind of festival prices. I think it's all much the same these days. Everything's going up in price, so expect to pay anywhere between 10 to 15 quid for stuff. You've got to remember that the organisers do take the cut, and that's why the prices are what they are. They're probably a couple of quid more than what you maybe pay outside of the venue. But yeah, so that's kind of the way I survive. Beer wise, there's plenty of it. There's plenty of bars. Of course, you can bring your own. But the beer's quite reasonable. It's no more than what you'd pay for. It wouldn't be as expensive as, say, a London pub, but it's not extortionate, if you know what I mean. It's not festival prices that you may have been experienced before when you've been at a music venue or something. What other stuff do you need to think about? Trail. That's probably the most important thing to me, is just getting out and riding the trail, because that's what I enjoy most about it. When you're out there, my advice would be, if it rains, take it easy, because a lot of it's on grass, and if you haven't got any experience of riding on wet grass, which most of us probably have, you'll know it can be like ice at times. So just take your time, take it easy first couple of laps, and then enjoy it. The TRF trail, which is the expert trail, it tends to be the one that goes through the water holes and the Bog of Doom, as we have all come to love and know about. I've never done the Bog of Doom. I can't touch. I'd probably disappear on this bike. I'm probably over my head. But basically, it's a bit of fun. If you fancy your chances at it, crack on. There's plenty of people help pull you out. But I've never done it myself. I tend to not like river crossings or wet mud. For some reason, it's like ice to me, like Bambi on ice, I should say. So that's kind of the trails. The main trail itself, it has a couple of breakout sections, experts only, they say, that kind of thing. They're not actually that bad until they're maybe wet. If they're wet, then just build up to them. Go do a few laps of the main trail and enjoy it, get a bit of confidence, and then give it a go. There are plenty of marshals about and stuff, so if you get stuck or slide off, but just take your time and you'll get around it. It's not too technical or scary. It's mostly, it'll be slippy if it's muddy or if it's wet. So just take your time. Knobbly tyres, I would just have anything that's kind of a 50-50 tyre and above. Should do you suffice. I wouldn't go out in road tyres. I've had a few friends in the past who kind of gone around on a multistrada. Sorry for snorting there, I was laughing. Spud, he'll know who he is. They went around on a multistrada with street tyres on it, and let's just say it hit the ground a few times, but he's addressed that problem. But yeah, so just go out and enjoy it. That's kind of the trails tips, right? So you're set up your camp. You've had a couple of laps of the dirt. When it comes to shower time, there can be a queue at times. There are peak times in the evening, peak times in the morning. I've always tended to try and get a shower mid-afternoon. So I tend to go down there sort of maybe 3-4 o'clock, just before everybody's finished on the trails and everybody's getting ready for a night out. So that's my tip. That's kind of what I do. Get shit, shower and a shave, or whatever, in whatever order you prefer, preferably not in the same sink. And then that way you get yourself ready for drinking. As for the expo area, give yourself some time to go and have a look at that. There's some fantastic stuff on show. There's obviously lots of retailers who are keen to sell some stuff, so there's usually quite a few deals going on. So you might find 20-30% off something you've been particularly looking for, or stuff like that. And I think there's even more vendors this year. So you got the likes of Moscow Moto, Alpine Stars are there, and then most of the manufacturers, obviously, with all the test rides. Which brings me on nicely to the test rides. Something which I've never done at ABR is I've never been that keen to, because there's nothing really I want to try out. Yes, I want to have a look at the bikes, and I tend to spend a bit of time at the KTM stand looking at the difference from year to year of each model of the 7/890, mainly to see what I can upgrade on this or what I need to consider going forward. But generally, if you want to get a test ride, you've got to be up at the crack of dawn, and you've got to be in a queue just to make sure you get your name down and get the slot that you're looking for and the bike that you're looking for. But you know, the test rides go on all day long, so you should have an opportunity to at least get a few in. But if you're keen for test rides, I would get there early. That would be my top tip. Off-road schools, same as the test rides, get your name down early. Sometimes the desk only opens at certain times at certain schools, so you need to get that kind of organised, get up early, get your name down and go and enjoy it. With the off-road schools, they tend to have their own separate area, so they tend to go to a separate kind of field area where it's only the training schools that are allowed in there, and they don't tend to take you out on the trail with all the other Egypts. So it's a pretty safe environment to learn, especially if you're new to it. So make the most of it if you're there. And that's it. Okay, nighttime entertainment. Well, the entertainment actually is on all day. There's so much stuff to do. You'll never get around it all in a day, or even a weekend, to be fair. The music's sort of on from 12 till late. There's other sort of splinter tents, splinter groups. You know, there's a bit of a rave night goes on after, I think it's Friday night, I'm not sure. They've got a couple of DJs going, they've got choirs singing, Welsh choirs. They've got cabaret kind of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that I have never, been inclined to go see or had the time, because I've either been drinking in the main tent, watching the AC/DC tribute band. So that's the kind of stuff that goes on. And then food-wise, as I said, you can get breakfast, lunch, dinner, not a problem at all. There's so many food vendors that it'll cater for all your tastes. And if you can't find something you like, then you must have a very acquired taste in food, that's all I'll say. Beer-wise, as I said, the beer's pretty good. I think they have a £3.50 beer, or they have done the last few years, which was in Carlsberg, I think, last year, so it's a fairly cheap night out. Trying to think what else. There's usually lots of talks, obviously. That's some of the main things on. So once you get in, you'll get a programme, and that'll give you the timing for every person that you want to see, be it Itchy Boots, Richie Vida, Adam Reitman. He was good last year. He's back again this year. You got Ryan Fortnine, I think, this year. And there's a few big names who, unless you've been sleeping under a large object, you will be aware of them. But yeah, it's from my experience the last couple of years, I've really enjoyed it. It's a good way of letting off a bit of steam midsummer. If the weather's good, it's probably the best place in the world, but I've yet to have a wet one. I'm probably just doomed it now. If it's wet, that could be a completely different story, but again, you know, you can always go out, you can always leave early or whatever, depending on how bad it is, but see it out and see how you get on. But yeah, so that's really the ABR Festival. If you've any comments or any questions you have about it, if you're going for the first time, drop a comment down below, and I'll try and help you out as much as I can. If you need any advice, or you want to ask a question, there's plenty of stuff on the forums and Facebook and things like that. You can always ask people. But generally, if you're going on your Todd, you'll be fine. If you're going on a group of lads, you'll be fine. And generally, it's really good fun. Just be prepared to be cleaning your bike for about a week afterwards if you're riding the trail. That's all I'll say. I think I'm still cleaning the dirt out of mine from last year. But that's my kind of advice for ABR. Go along, enjoy it. And if you haven't got your tickets already, and I'm not sponsored by ABR, there are probably some tickets left. But look around for a discount code. You might get an offer on from one of the other YouTubers who's got a deal with them. You get some discounted tickets. There's no more trail tickets left, so if you haven't got a trail ticket already, unfortunately I don't think there's any left. And the Super Thursday tickets, which are the day before the official opening, they are running out at the moment, but I think there's plenty of tickets left if you still fancy going. It's the last weekend of June, and it is thoroughly enjoyable. I think I'm turning left down here, so I'm just paying attention. So that's yeah, I'm looking for a little road on the left here, so I think it's maybe around the corner. It's been a while since I've been down this neck of the woods. Here we go, crossroads ahead, turning left. Yeah, so if you're unsure of what tyres you're looking for ABR, my advice would be go for a minimum of a 50-50 if you want to ride the trail. So your AX41s, your Dunlop Trail Max Raids, even these EOS Enduro trails that I've recently put on, I'm hoping they'll be fine on it. Again, if it's wet, any tyre's going to kind of struggle a wee bit on it because it's a lot of it's just grass. Tyres wise, if you haven't got tyres and you're due to buy a new pair, have a look at the ABR website, because I think they're doing offers through one of the tyre suppliers who will be there, but they're all Dunlops, I believe. In previous years you've been able to get sort of Mitas or Motas. Nice wee cottage. So yeah, so the guys there, you can actually pre-order your tyres. You can arrive there technically on the Thursday, book a slot, get your tyres fitted, and then ride home on them. And break them in on the ABR track. But yeah, it's, as you said, it's get a 50-50 tyre, and that will hold you and get you around the track, and run slightly low pressures as well. Some of it is hard pack. Some of it is quite loose because they take you up some sort of forest tracks or sort of fire roads that are farm access or estate access or whatever, and they're quite gravelly and quite dusty. So bike prep wise, we can put in a good decent gear. Bike prep wise, fresh air filter in before and change it afterwards. That's what I would do, because you will be sucking dust most of the day, especially if there's the amount of people that have been on the last few years. Tyres, we spoke about tyres. 50-50 tyres should see you good. I mean, don't get me wrong, you probably could get around on a kind of an 80-20 tyre, but if you want to actually get a bit more confidence in the dirt, I would ride a 50-50. Plus, most of the tyres are pretty good these years. What else is going on? Right, so that's its trail stuff. When you're riding the trail, if it's not too cold, which it probably won't be the end of June in the middle of England, get some trail kit, get some like a light motocross top. Don't be wearing your adventure suit. One, you'll be roasting hot, and two, you'll feel a lot better for being a bit more freer when you're moving about on the bike and things like that. That would be the thing. I wouldn't wear your full suit. I would also, if you got panniers on, take them off. Not the racks, but take your panniers off. I've seen a few people go around with top boxes and stuff, and some of them bounce off and things like that. And it can be. I don't think they allow them on these. I think they stop people. But yeah, but prepare to take your panniers off before you go around the trail. That's it. This is a little bit loose here. And what's my last piece of advice? Talk to people. You know, if you see somebody with a bike that you like, or something that's set up on their bike, ask them about it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to talk to people, because it's some of the things you find out. I mean, over the past few years, I've spoken to people about various trips or stuff they've done to their bike and things like that, and it's always been good. And if you are going and you spot me, you might not see me over the crowd though, because I'm quite small. Probably the shortest man there, but if you spot somebody who's very short, it's probably me. All 5'3" and nothing. Say hello. If you want to see the bike from its conversion or its engine swap, let me know, and we'll arrange the meet and show you the bike. But Yeah, I'm quite happy. I'll talk about that bike all day long, as people who know me know that. But yeah, just say hello to everybody else, and just have a good time. But there you go. Anyway, that's kind of my summary of what I think ABR could be like. If you're not going, you'll probably see some footage. I might do some camera stuff. I don't know how much. There's so many people do a lap of the ABR Festival kind of videos, but I'll see what I'll do. Maybe I'll do one in my own style. But oh yeah, there's a speed limit. The speed limit, excuse me, is 30 mile an hour on the trail. That's all I'll say. It is 30 mile an hour. Anyway, so as I said, we're in this cracking little road which takes me up into the highs of Dumfries and Galloway. So you might as well enjoy it now that I've done my ABR spiel. It's just a lovely little road, just takes you up through here. When we get to the top of it, there's a lovely view over the Shire, as my friends used to call it, or still do, I should say. It's around the corner here, it opens up. I think it's coming, the view's coming. Oh, inbound, incoming. Boop. Pulls well on third. Forgot to change it down again there. So this view opens up now, you can see, I'm trying to think what forest that is with a mast on it, I'm not sure. Saying that, you're probably in a wide angle, you can probably hardly see anything apart from the road and the walls in front of me. But yeah, it's I think this is all part of a big estate, but I don't quite know the name of it, excuse me. This might not even be the view I'm talking about yet. This is just the road to get to it. But anyway, I digress. So, if you are going to go to ABR, let me know what kind of way you're going. As I said, I like to go down, dip into Wales, and play about in Wales for a couple of days on the way down. Last year I hit a bit of the north of England, did a bit of the Tet, and ended up in sort of Yorkshire way for the night, and then went down to the ABR the next day. So there's many ways to get there, depending on which part of the country you're coming from. From Scotland, my preference would always be to head towards Brampton, Ulster, Middleton and Teesdale, and then kind of down towards Preston. Then I would just jump on the motorway for a short bit and get through the Manchester-Liverpool area to stay out of the way of basically just the town traffic and stuff like that. Another incoming traffic. Is he going to pull over for me? Hope so. Doesn't pass in place. He is he? No? Yes, he is. Cool. Where's one of those? Is that one of those Chinese things? Could well be. So yeah, so then we're heading to North Wales, Snowdonia. Found somewhere to stop for the night around that part of the world, and then the next day sometimes head down through the Eland Valley, down through the middle of Wales, maybe try and hit a trail or two. Not Bastard Lane, that's a bit like that. I'm going left here. So I just keep an eye for traffic and holes. What's this sign say? I think I go. No unauthorized access. There we go. I think it must be this way. Takes you up beside the reservoir, basically. Oh, another bloody truck. It's going to all go today, isn't it? Yep. Better not spin wing. Sorry. Right, back on topic. What was I saying about? Oh yeah, down through Wales, Eel Valley, and then pop out somewhere near Ragley Hall. Maybe stay the night close by, and then you can just take your time over in the morning. So that's usually what I do. And that breaks up the week a wee bit, gets you to see a bit of the country, and we're working away here. Another reservoir. And then on the way home, I just head up north. We stay off the motorway until about the M56, jump on sort of Cheshire area, and then depending on the day, how much time we've got, it's or the weather's like too, we just bomb up the road, up the M6, and then stop somewhere north of Lancaster, usually, or north of Blackpool, turn off. Yeah, Lancaster, north of Lancaster. But you'll probably need a. Oh, the fuck's he doing here? Stopped. Good man. Okay. Looking at the wildlife. So, yeah. So as I said, yeah, that's kind of what I tend to do. I mean, I've nothing planned yet. I don't know where I'm going yet. I could be going anywhere. I don't even know who I'm going down with really at the minute. Yeah, I've got one possible. There could be more, but we'll see what the crack is. I went sideways on that cattle grid a few years ago. But there you go. Anyway, this is an absolute cracking little spot, this down here. I have no idea what the name of it is. It's just kind of north Dumfriesshire somewhere. I'll maybe put the name of the area that we're in. But it's actually not a bad wee road if you can. It's just the cattle grid I can lay cattle myself on, it's pun intended. Yeah, so that's the plan of the next few days. I mean, if you're going to the ABR, guys, you'll enjoy it. If you're not, it's maybe something to consider for next year. Or if you've got time this year, there's probably still tickets left. I am not sponsored by ABR in any shape or manner. I'll just make that clear. This is not a paid promotion. This is just my opinion. This is the view I mentioned earlier on coming up. Big holes everywhere, just be careful if you do come up this way. There you go, that's it opening up now. Stones, everything on this road is class. Look at that. I think that wind farm is A Forest, just to give you a kind of general direction. So we're just west of A Forest, and that's in the Thornhill area, kind of on the A76. So you can see this wee road's just takes you around the hillsides, nice and twisty. Titans. You know, you could be in Ireland at this rate with these stone walls and stuff. Of course, they've got a bit of bias there, haven't they? But yeah, it looks a wee bit like Donegal again. It's just, when you think about how close the southwest of Scotland and Ireland are, you can understand where maybe the styles have come from. Yeah. I don't know if it's you, or I don't know if it's me, or if you guys have noticed, but is it me, or is there a bit of a Brexit effect on the amount of sheep lately? For some reason, I just seem to see sheep everywhere. Is it something that the farmers are now realising that, you know, we've got to produce our own meat, or it's easier for us to do the meat rather than import it? I don't know. Thoughts on a postcard, please. But I'm no farming expert. I'm no common market expert or farming market or thing like that. But I just seem to see, especially locally here, where there weren't sheep in previous years, there seems to be a hell of a lot of sheep about these days. And it may be just the fact is what we're a couple of years, well, 2 or 3 years out of Brexit now, or into Brexit, and it could be the fact now that the farmers are producing more meat locally than importing, which is, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm all for our land being used. I mean, at the end of the day, we're a nation of farmers. Not saying that I think Brexit was a good idea at the time, but, you know, each to their own. So yeah, so as you can see, this opens up, and that's the borders in the distance there. So that's like, I'm trying to think what direction that's over towards the Dalvian Pass and the Lead Hills. So that's Wayne Lockhead and stuff up there. So, and these are just the wee back roads in and out of all those wee ones you find on Google Street View. But yeah. So there you go. Right, I've probably been waffling on enough. I've come out for a ride today to enjoy myself, and I just thought I'd share the thoughts about ABR. And hopefully that some of that's been of use to you. I may have had to edit it heavily because I may have been talking an absolute bit of crap, but I'll leave it there for you guys. And if you are at ABR and you do spot me or think it's me, just say hello. I won't bite. I'll happily talk to you, and if you want to have a look at the bike, stop me in the trail or stop me in the campsite, whatever. I'll happily talk about it all day long. Okay, right, this is me just coming down the hill now. I better shoot on. Okay, till next time, adios. Hi there. I say adios, but it's actually quite a nice wee road. It's been a wee while since I've been down this one. That's peaceful. Anyway, as I said, see you around like a donut. Over and out.